Hello, my name is Ethan and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Harvest League 3.11. In this episode, I'm going to show you guys how to AFK Tier 16 Blighted maps in Harvest League without any abilities or flasks. Get ready. So no skills, no flasks. We're going to AFK at Tier 16. Easy as fuck. We're Carrion, Golem, Summoner, Elementalist. And we can fully clear tier 16, fully AFK. We've cleared so many of them, and we're using cold iron points. So no abilities, no flasks, fully AFK, tier 16. Let me just grab a map from my new Blight stash tab. So this is tier 16. There's 3 tier 16s this season. It's like Promenade, Cage, and let's check for the last one, Reef. Yeah, so I think that Promenade's the best one, then Reef, then Cage. I think Cage is the hardest one of them all, so I'm going to do Cage. Cage has a really weird, bad layout, so I'll show you it. This is triple teal for 6 lucky chests, 20% qual from chisels, no alchemy, because alch only affects the loot explosion and it's not worth very much. So this is my Carrion Golem build. Carrion Golems do all the carrying. What they do is they have 3 attacks. They have a combo attack, which is this like AoE attack, a melee attack. Then they have this leap slam, and they have bone spikes. And so you'll see a lot of bone spikes, you'll see a lot of leap slamming. They get around really fast without very much move speed, just from having high attack speed and cooldown reduction on their leap slam. It's pretty sick. So then my specters, I'm using Carnage Chieftain, Host Chieftain from Ashen Fields in Act 7. They give me frenzy charges and power charges. I'm using 2 Carnage Chieftains actually, instead of 1, to get 2 times the frenzy charges to get them up faster. And then I use Thay of Tool. This guy, he's from Tool's Domain. Tool's Breachstone. This guy gives me the Snow Cloak, and the Snow Cloak is like 15% damage reduction, so 15% less damage taken, and 20% chance to dodge spells and attacks. Okay, so those are my specters. My actual golem setup, I use 1 stone golem to get my 923 regen. I use the 1 chaos golem, and I'm hitting like 80% physical damage reduction on the tooltip with the effect of Lunaris, the chaos golem, an endurance charge that I have crafted on the amulet. We're using a brass dome, so we have high armor, 10,000 without using flasks. So we're hitting like huge damage reduction. We also have a Watcher's Eye to get 10%. Wait, that's not it. 10% of fizz damage taken as cold. And then we also use this Glorious Vanity, and this is from Zabakwa. And this gets us Divine Flesh, which is all damage taken bypasses energy shield, so we don't actually use it, and the 50% of LE damage taken as chaos with 10% max chaos. So I just wanted to show this, that I'm using 85 chaos res, and half of my elemental damage actually goes against this 85. And so imagine it's like I have 80s for elemental and 85 for chaos, because half of the LE is taken against the 85, so average it out. And then, yeah, we only have 4,000 life when we don't die on tier 16 Blight. So I've gone over my golems. I use Carrion as the carry. These are my support specters. My Animate Guardian, I have a video on it, and I also have a command on my Twitch channel if you want to go over it. But specifically, I have Kingmaker, Victario's Influence, Boots. You use a Chaos res helmet with life, and maybe even nearby enemies take increased physical damage. An Elder like helmet with 86. It's really expensive. I don't recommend that mod unless you're late game, end game. Then you can use 26 Chaos res or higher gloves with vulnerability curse on hit from corruption. And as the chest plate, I use a Garb of the Ephemeral. You can look all this information up on the AG video or on my Twitch channel just by typing in the chat !AG. Super simple. So the auras I run in the build are Purity of Elements, Pride, and Dread Banner right now. Those are my only auras, so we have no mana reserve. And then the jewels I run most importantly, Primordial Might, then Anima Stone with extra 3 Primordial items. So I use an equal amount of Harmonies and Eminence, and I recommend looking for 20% attack speed Eminence and getting 20% damage Harmonies with decent Golem have percent increased cooldown recovery speed, not the skill. So the second line, not the first line. And you get an equal amount of these Harmonies and Eminence in your build. So if you get 1 Harmony, get 1 Eminence, get 1 Harmony, get 1 Eminence, etc. So if you have 3 Harmonies, 3 Eminence, super simple. And then here's my cluster jewels: 1 Primordial Bomb, 1 Renewal, 1 Rotting Claws, with 2 jewel sockets. This is going to be easier to craft in like a week, so wait for the patch. And then my other one's just Feasting Fiend's Renewal, 2 jewel sockets. So I've explained all the jewels. This is my skill tree. You can pull it up in the POB below. My flask that I don't use, but because we're AFK Blight, you don't need these. You don't need abilities. You just need the setup. We use a taunt jewel here. We have Corrupted Blood on our Anima Stone. We have 4% life for minions on this jewel. Weird stuff just in case. Our Ascendancies are Liege of the Primordial, Elemancer, into Paragon of Calamity, then Pendulum of Destruction, in that order. The Pendulum of Destruction as the final Ascendancy, I figured it out. It's 5 seconds of increased area of effect of your auras, which for Pride is pretty good. It can work on Avian, I think, too. Aspect of the Avian. I'm not sure though. I would have to look into it more. And my extra glorious vanity actually gives me physical damage reduction, lightning res, increased effect of aura, and move speed. But that wasn't like I didn't know I was gonna get that stuff. It was a bonus. So yeah, we've already done like 20 or 30 tier 16s fully AFK yesterday. Like I was just farming them all day once I figured out I could do it. And so we're gonna keep streaming tier 16 Blight and just keep printing big money. Is it worth it? Yeah. Should you play the highest tier you possibly can? Yes. So if you can do tier 15, you probably should. If you do tier 16, you probably should, until the price, I guess, fluctuates or whatever. But that's my tips. This is how you fully AFK tier 16 Blight within like a week of the league start. This is faster than I expected because I thought it would take me till the 29th just to finish the final boss. But now we loot together because you already know. Got to show off the loot of the tier 16 that we AFK'd. I should probably put my phase runs, and now I'll use an ability just for looting because obviously I'd like to run around faster to loot quicker. This is a really cool map. It seems like it has terrible loot. Like it has so many weapon nodes, armor nodes. It has a talisman node. That's a jewel node. There's only a few good ones. Like this could be a good one. This is a bad one, guaranteed. So this is where lucky chests come in handy because hopefully you can reroll the ones you don't like into chests you do want. Ooh, a ghetto map. Cool. The map sustain from Blight has been really good, I found. Doing higher tier and getting maps. Maps are worth a lot still. Superior Strand. Oh shit, we got a cool belt. Dense, pristine. Terrible oils. We got a Warmonger 4, Crushing Squall, free Tempest. Those are low tier maps for some reason. Essence Shrieking. Okay. Hello. Making video. Shouldn't respond. I should go D&D while make video because yeah, anyways. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Hope you will be able to replicate it as well. The only one thing I missed was Pantheons. I used Lunaris. And it's because your only 2 real options are Solaris and Lunaris, and there's usually more than one enemy near you, so Lunaris is better. And then for AFK Blight, Abberath is the best because Burning Ground. If you can get a Watcher's Eye with Burning Ground immunity while affected by Purity of Fire, that also works, but that's later because we aren't running the Purity of Fire yet. Purity of Fire is after we go CI and we don't run the Brass Dome and we run a sack of walls and we have all that extra mana reserve. I should probably put my flask back on so I have inventory space. I'm sure it's fine. No one will complain. I've already beat the whole map. But yeah, I've tested this a bunch. I was just running it through the loop. I was like, let's see if it ever fails. And honestly, there was only 2 maps out of my entire big test, and it was like 10 damage and 13 damage to my pump, where I didn't lose. And honestly, that used to happen on like 50% of my maps before, and I was still winning. So one leak is not a big deal, whereas honestly having it that infrequent seems really fucking good. This is just a solid build right now, guys. It's really solid. And I've also found that if I don't run the AG, I still win. So it wasn't even the AG. I apparently could have just done this a lot sooner. I don't know at what point I was powerful enough to do this. Maybe the cluster jewels. Cluster jewels are really powerful. Let's do these stacked dicks together. You already know. I think I've explained it all. I'll obviously go through the final, like, I'll go through it fully one more time at the end, for anyone who, or because I didn't go through the gems, and I didn't go through, there's some shit where people want to see it in the video and not from the POB, or they just want to hear something I might say about it when I go over it. Anyways, let me put this away. Oh, look at all this. Put your oils in here, get all these extra prophecies. I feel like I get higher tier prophecies like crazy on the higher tier blight. I was barely getting decent prophecies on the lower tier blight, even like all the way up to 10. I was still getting pretty shitty prophecies constantly, and now it's just pooping out good prophecies. It's kind of crazy. It's a little overwhelming. I remembered this happening last time now, and what happened is I was never mapping. I played Blight for a month, so I stacked up all these prophecies, stacked up all this shit that I didn't want to use because I didn't want to map, and I just wanted to play Blight. So then how do I ever use it? And it's a rest in peace, you know? Okay, let's go over the rest of the build now. So in the build, it's Carrion Golem Build. To explain it, you have Carrion golems, and the way they work is they give extra damage to your ally non-golem minions, and they also gain damage for non-golem minions. So a lot of people would want to run an amulet called Primordial Chain. We don't run it because we want to run other minions that are not golems, specifically Spectres and Animate Guardian. These two are OP as fuck. Spectres giving us frenzy charges, power charges, and 15% damage reduction with 20% dodge of attacks and spells permanently up. This snow cloak never goes away. It's fucking broken. So yeah, and then Animate Guardian getting the 50% crit multi, culling strike, vulnerability, move speed. Like what? An anti-crit. You name it, dude. Just, it's really insane what an Animate Guardian can do. It's also level 31 in our build because we have Cold Iron points. Wow, it's a physical. Yep, pretty cool. So we have a Raised Spectre for that effect, and then the Raised Zombies just for extra minions for our Carrion Golem effect. And so it can get big damage. So then our Carrion Golems are dealing way too much goddamn damage. This is the links I use. I use Carrion Golem. Most importantly, next is my Awakened Melee Fizz for the chance to intimidate when it has quality. This is OP. It's 10% more attack damage, so you want it. Impales, OP. We use Awakened Brutality, Multistrike, Awakened Minion damage. It's OP as shit. That's my 6th link. We use 2 Cold Iron points. And then in these I use for Blight. My Blight specific setup is cast when damage taken, Immortal Call, Frost Wall. So Immortal Call is to mess with the Fireball, so it doesn't one-shot you. It takes 26% of the elemental damage away. Goodbye. Frost Wall is to block projectiles. It's like the Proximity Shield Spectre, but it's better because it's consistent. Every time you get hit for a little bit of damage from this cast when damage taken level 1, it's going to trigger the Frost Wall, and the Frost Wall blocks projectiles, and it's perfect. It'll literally block it in the direction in between you and the monster. Like, within the path between you and the monster, it will put down a Frost Wall, perfectly blocking the direction as long as you don't move. And it's like, well, you're not moving, so GG. We have Dread Banner with Awakened Generosity to give it the extra impale effect. So, like, it has an extra effect of 43% plus an extra level. Then here it had 20% chance to impale, so you get 43% more on that. pretty cool. Purity of Elements, I run it because of the Watcher's Eye, and also res is nice. Also res capping the non-golem minions, because your golems are immune to elemental damage, but your non-golems aren't. And I have 0 res on my skill tree for the minions, so normally they're missing 35%. I give them back 28 through the Purity of Elements. GG. Boot, I'm using a really cool setup. Phase run, second wind, increased duration, makes me have perma phase running, 3.10 cooldown with a duration of 3.13. So you'll notice if I phase run, it will come off cooldown and I instantly phase run, and I never get slowed down, I never stop phasing, and so this is going to be really powerful in delving later, especially with Unwavering Stance. Then we have Flame Dash. It also works with second wind. And technically the increased duration works with the duration of the fire on the ground. Okay, so then in my glove, this is really important. We use a Stone Golem, Maim, Feeding Frenzy, summon Chaos Golem, and so I need another level on the Chaos Golem. Wow, that's really OP actually. Wow, I missed that. Hahaha. So Chaos Golem gives me the physical damage reduction, and this gives me the regen. Hooking it up with Feeding Frenzy makes it so my golems were already aggressive, but now we're getting the Feeding Frenzy buff, which is like 15% more damage, attack speed, and has like a buff for all of your minions. And so I use these to support the Carrion golems, and Maim the same thing to debuff the enemy so that my actual main Carrion golems do more damage. So it's just tons of support. It's all about Carrion golems. 4 Carrion golems killing everything, which in my theory it's like 4 players, because it's using Leap Slam and big AoE attacks, and it's fucking amazing. So I basically have 4 players as a summoner. It's really cool. And then yeah, we use Brass Dome because I don't want to get crit. Now that we technically have the Animate Guardian with the Garb of the Ephemeral, so I can't be crit anymore, I technically don't need the Brass Dome, but I still like the 5000 armor. It's really nice. It's super cool, super helpful. Obviously it makes it so you take fucking 0 damage. It's amazing. Hilarious. I think that's the whole thing. I've gone over, well, I'll hover the flask. Immune to Curse and Enduring Surgeon, Basalt Flask of Staunching, the Experimenter's Granite Flask of Curing, the Silver Flask of Warding, and the Quicksilver Flask of Adrenaline Chemist. So move speed, Curse, Poison, Bleeding, Curse. I get 2 Curse because on instant life flask maps where you have the Sextant, your mana flask gets broken and you have to use the silver to remove Curse. That is everything. I hope you did enjoy. I must now get a Carrion Golem, a Chaos Golem 21 to get that extra. I messed up and haven't had that, and I should have. Feels bad, man. Time to fix it. What was here? Carrion Golem. Cool, and this was usually AG. There you go. Hope this was cool. Hope you guys enjoyed AFKing tier 16 Blighted maps. It's pretty fun. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all the support. I'll see you guys in today's stream. Probably more videos to come as well. I got more shit to put out. PoE. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys to anyone new who joins the Patreon or the YouTube members. Thank you guys for all the financial support, and thank you to Rico and everyone who gifted subs and subbed yesterday. It was a pretty crazy stream. 16 subs in one stream. It was an absolutely insane support day. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much. I can't do this without you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!